gunmen storm India's financial capital. This just one of at least 7 attacks around the city. Hello, good to have your company. I'm David Foster and you're watching Al Jazeera's especially extended coverage of dramatic events in Mumbai. Indian commandos stormed the Taj Hotel in the city. The state's police chief says all hostages there have been freed. The attacks began when more than 100 gunmen stormed the city armed with automatic weapons and grenades. And these are the latest pictures after reports that Indian forces are storming the Trident Oberoi Hotel, where gunmen have been holding guests captive. At least 100 people died, including members of India's elite police force. This, the funeral for a senior commander. The carnage wreaked by the attackers was terrible. The planning and audacity of the raids equally horrifying. Some of them arrived by sea in motorized dinghies. They then split into different groups targeting hotels, the city's transport hubs and a cafe popular with tourists. More than 100 men from a group calling itself the Deccan Mujahideen, carrying out what's being described by Indian police as audacious attacks. The situation is still very confused. A number of hostages have been freed from one of Mumbai's top hotels, but the situation at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel is still confused, with explosions and gunfire heard to be coming from inside the hotel. This report now from Todd Baer.
In what has become a shocking but familiar scene in recent months across India, a series of personal and particularly brazen attacks brought death, destruction, and a sense of panic to Mumbai. The attackers used grenades and automatic weapons, storming into the city's largest train station, a movie theater, a hospital, and 2 5-star hotels.
Another blast inside the Heritage Wing.
Scenes of fires burning at the Oberoi and Taj hotels could be seen on many of India's private television channels.
So I was there with my hands up just thinking.
British businessman Alex Chamberlain was in the Oberoi when gunmen stormed into one of the restaurants. The attackers, he says, wanted to kill foreigners.
The gunmen came into the restaurant and we were ushered, or some of us were ushered into the kitchen. I think some of the others got out the back door. And then the gunman told us to go up the stairs, up the fire escape stairs, about 30 of us all together. So we're walking up each flight of stairs, and then he stopped us after 2 or 3 flights and told everyone to put their hands up and said, "Where are you from? You know, are there any British or Americans here? Show us your ID," and all this.
But most of the victims were Indians who were going about their daily lives in Mumbai's most upscale area. The targets also included people in Mumbai's Jewish community. At least 2 Israelis were held hostage in this residential building with a Jewish prayer hall. So well planned were the attacks, investigators say some of the gunmen pulled into Mumbai from the water in inflatable boats. Dozens of hostages were taken in the hotels, which led to a standoff with police.
They just kept saying to us all, be quiet, stay calm, you know, it'll be okay. But nobody actually had any information. But we could just hear it all. We could hear it when we knew when the army were in, because we could hear the army running through the hotel, and we just heard all the gunfire, we heard all the blasts.
As the killing went on late into the night, photos of some of the gunmen surfaced. Their pictures taken by hotel security cameras. Similar to recent attacks in India, an unknown group called the Deccan Mujahideen claimed responsibility. Investigators are trying to determine if this is a front name for a banned extremist group in the country, or if they are linked to an outside group. Todd Baer, Al Jazeera.